quickly going through these videos that you pass me on, and hopefully we can give you a little bit more clear guidance on kind of how to go about those things that I mentioned in our first video. For me, like I said, the main things are really number one, posture, just how your shoulders sit in the swing. Number two is going to be grip. And then number three is really going to be about how you move those shoulders in the backswing. So first thing being posture. Obviously what we see from you here is a kind of flat-ish pelvis or belt line, and then really a lot of your kind of ability to get down to the ball comes from the shoulders. So they round forward. I'm exaggerating here, but you get a rounded shoulder and the arms are right here. So all of a sudden you're really locked into position, and effectively what you do is you stop your T-spine or your upper shoulder working correctly. So really what we want to start with is just a good hip bend and good shoulder position. Now for me, the shoulder position should always be as if you were holding something heavy. So if you think you're holding something heavy, you'll see my shoulders are down, they're not pinched back. So imagine you had a heavy bag or a practice ball bag and you're having to hold it for a long time. Your elbows would be more to your side, your shoulders would be down, and you'd be in this position. And that's kind of what I want to take into a golf swing. So if I kind of got my club and just popped it on my shoulder like this, you'll see that pretty much sets me in the perfect position. So my shoulders are back and down, and then really from there what I'm trying to do is push my hips back. So I'm trying to really push my hips back behind my heel. Now if you feel a little tension in the hamstrings, absolutely fine. It's at that point you'll start to bend your knees. So really club across shoulders, bend forward, and then just a little soft bend of the knees. And then from there I'm going to drop the club into position. So now I'm really set in the right place to actually swing the golf club. Now if you look at that from a face-on perspective, what you're going to see and what you'll notice is your elbows will look very, very different. So again, I'll push my hips back, I'll bend my knees, and I'll drop the club into the ball. Now you'll notice my elbows are much further apart now. They don't need to be in like this. And again, that is all down to just how your shoulders sit when you're setting up to the golf ball. Second step, grip. So obviously we showed you Adam Scott's grip, and one of the big things we see with yours is that the left hand is rotated in an awful lot. So imagine my watch face or the FJ on your glove, it's really turned in and facing the camera. We want to begin, before we start our posture drill, by bringing our left hand around to the side. So now the FJ on the glove should be pointing a lot more out towards the target. Now it's fine having a little bend here, it's fine having a little bit of the FJ showing, but I definitely don't want to see it pointing up to the ceiling. So if I can have the club here to begin, and I bring my left hand a little bit more around the side of the shaft, you'll notice now my thumb is a little bit more directly down the shaft. Another little key you can use is the crease between the thumb and the index finger. So that should point a bit closer to my right shoulder. So if I then take my right hand on the grip and just pop that on my shoulder, I'm in a great place to start that drill that I was talking about. So that little bend forward and into the ball, and then really you've effectively fixed all those basic things that I was talking about in setup. The final piece is just how you're going to move the golf club. So if I'm in that good setup now, what I want to feel like I'm doing is I'm actually now engaging and using my torso. So I'm going to move my shoulders back, move my shoulders through, and as you'll see, even with that little chip or pitch shot, there's no real reason for your hands then to get scoopy. You're not responding to anything. So effectively, a good little way for you to practice this is get into your setup through that drill, pop your right hand on the side of the shaft and have your right arm reasonably straight, and just practice making a small pitch movement where really you'll see my right arm stays on top of the club and it stays pointing downwards. So again, into that setup, right hand stays on top, points downwards, move through, and as I move through, this now points back behind me. My body, my club are all facing then to the target. So I'll then bring that into a shot. So again, I'll go through my little setup, club across shoulders, bend nicely into the golf ball, and drop the club. And I'm going to make a nice little small movement here. 1, 2, and you can see it's a really good body movement, especially from my upper body. I'm not allowing the club to really fold in super early here with my right elbow, as you'll have seen with your original video. So give that a try and let me know how it goes.